everyone, this is Zibo and welcome to today's Who to Poo video. So in today's Who to Poo video, there are a bunch of heroes to go through. So I'll go through them quickly and talk about whether or not you should go for them, where these heroes are good at, and whether or not they're good in the current state of the game and probably in the future. So without further ado, let us start with Demon Queen Lilith. So Demon Queen Lilith is one of the top tier picks. She's probably one of the better heroes on today's list because she's very versatile. She can be used in a lot of different game modes, right, ranging from your arena. She can be used in raids because she can fit in very well in most melee teams and dark teams especially. So yeah, she's a great unit overall. And in terms of battles which you need to fight against really tough bosses, Lilith is also a good choice because she has a defense reduction ability. So defense reduction against bosses with high defenses is extremely good ability because it allows your whole team to do more damage, and she has some massive assets as usual. I'm going to talk about it. So yeah, that's why she's probably the best pick, or rather a top tier pick for today's list. And next one, we talk about Warlord Mercenary Orca. So Orca received quite a major buff for this patch, and I'll say that Orca is actually a much stronger unit right now. So a lot of people are probably using Orca for the water resist down, for the range attack buff within the water teams itself, but you don't really see her often in arena. And the reason why you don't see Orca in arena is twofold. Number one, earth is pretty prevalent, so in retrospect water is a lot weaker. And secondly, right, Orca's previous mine toss was a lot slower and her damage wasn't as high, or rather like her damage right now is a lot higher, but if you compare to previously, maybe not as high. So in the battles of margins, she might not be a good hero. But then again, right, after the buff, everything changed. Like right now, I think Orca is a pretty strong hero in a sense because her weapon skill actually chains really easily, and overall her damage output is nothing to be scoffed at. If you guys have been chained by an Orca before, you guys will know how much damage she can actually deliver. So yeah, she's a pretty decent unit overall, and range attack buff together with melee attack buff is probably two of the best buffs in the game, right, in terms of versatility, in terms of usage in different game modes. Overall, it's just one of the better ones. So that's why Orca is another top tier pick for this patch itself. So next one, we have Grand Admiral Marina. So Marina is my waifu, yes. She is probably more niche towards the arena side, and within arena, I'll say that Marina is a 50-50 in a sense. Like, she is strong, she can beat most units, but she also has her fair share of weaknesses. And overall, I think she's a good unit to pick if you want to counter like some fire units within arena, and you kind of just like her playstyle within arena itself, right? So she's a strong unit in arena. In certain maps, she's pretty like omnipotent because the map is really small and her weapon skill hits really easily. So that's why yeah, just for arena sake. But if you're talking about other game mode, I think Marina is not that good. So yeah, just pull for Marina if you're into the arena aspect of the game. Okay, next up we have the Divine Beast of Harvest Mariel. So Mariel got a major buff for her special ability, and in case you guys don't know by now, she's one of the key drivers for Mono Earth being a terror in arena. And outside of just arena, right, Mariel is also really good, right? She functions amazingly well in guild raid with all the earth units being so powerful. Her earth resist down from her weapon, as well as her crit hit chance buff, as well as just her major damage as a whole. Is just something that makes her an amazing unit. And within Colosseum, you can see some people running like a mono earth like teams, right, with Mariel being the lead, because every blast coming out from her hits like a truck. And yeah, overall I think Mariel is a really good unit if you are into the earth element within Guardian Tales. But the thing is, if you are kind of bored of like the mono earth element, then Mariel might not be that strong, right? Outside of earth teams, I think Mariel is a balanced unit. She's still usable in like teams without earth units in it, right? But she's just not going to be as strong because the 30% damage increase is just incredible. So you kind of want to pair her with earth units most of the time. And yeah, that's for Mariel, but nonetheless, she's probably also one of the top tier pick. And if you compare her with the likes of Lilith and Orca, I'll say that in terms of like the current power level, Muriel is a lot stronger because she functions really well in different setups if you put her into the earth related teams. But if you're talking about general versatility, I think Orca as well as Lilith will be a lot stronger, because you can easily throw Lilith into any melee teams and she will still do well there. And you can also put Orca in most range teams, although not as optimal, but she will also work well there. And if you talk about Muriel, right, if you don't put her in an earth team, you kind of lose her special ability. That's why, that's what I mean by, you know, she's not as versatile, because she's gonna be damn amazing if she's in an earth team or she has an earth teammate, but she's not gonna be as strong if you do not have it. So that's the problem with her. But generally, she's currently one of the most meta hero in the pool. Go pull for her if you want to build out earth team, if you want to have an easier time ranking up in arena or even Colosseum, or even do damage in raid. So next up we have Flower Girl Bari. So unfortunate victim of the special ability change. So for those of you guys who do not know, right, prior to the change to Muriel and Bari's ability, Bari is actually tied to Muriel in order to activate their special ability. But after the change, right, nowadays nobody uses Bari, because Bari, although having one of the highest attack in the game, but her attacks are too slow. So the damage she can output is not as good as compared to like those very fast hitting attackers. So that's why yeah, you don't really see a lot of people using her. And her party buff, which is skill damage plus 80%, is just not as good in raids, because skill damage probably only affects the weapon skill and the chain skill by a bit. So like nobody's gonna use it, right? People would rather have like consistent earth attack buff for the whole party by using Ru, or maybe even have like consistent range attack buff for the whole party as well. So that's why you don't see Bari in raids anymore. And she obviously, she's not gonna see used in like Colosseum, because like I mentioned, skill damage is just not like a really good party buff in general. So that's why she's not that good, right? She used to be the queen, but right now she's like the peasant. Like nobody uses her in arena as well. She don't see a lot of use. So in terms of priority, I'll say that Bari is probably one of the lowest priority, because like, yeah, she just doesn't see much use anywhere, and she's pretty much like power crap by a lot of the other strong units in the meta right now. So don't pull for Bari unless you have specific love for her design, or you just like how she channels her spirit ball and attacks the enemy. So next one, we talk about Goddess of Well, Eleanor. So I don't think I need to talk too much about Eleanor. Eleanor's kit just makes her like a pure light support. So she's niche and she only has a very specific roles. So you're probably gonna see her in light guild raids as well as Colosseum. So that those are the two things which she's really good at. But other than that, she's kind of useless, because if you don't put her in the light team, she's not gonna be as efficient. And if she's not gonna do her job right, she's not as good, right? So her party buff buffs the light attack for every light type party member. So if you put her in like a mixed team without other light teammates, you're gonna get like what, 5% buff compared to like the maximum of 20%. So that's a problem with her. Like she's a good support, but she's very niche to a specific element. So if you are building out a light team, she's a must pull. But if you're not building a light team, or if you're just not considering light element as a whole, she's a very skippable unit. So next one, let's talk about the 8-tailed fox Nuri. So Nuri has been power crapped quite a bit in terms of the arena aspect. Like you don't see a lot of Naris right now, because a lot of other units just do very well against her, and she's just like, she has seen her glory days, right? She's just not as strong as she used to be. But in certain setups, she can still be used, like very niche ones in arena per se. So that's something going for her. But no doubt, right, Nuri together with Kamel, as well as like, you know, like all the defense reduction unit, is probably gonna be always good in guild raids. So you can see them as a long-term investment for guild raid game modes, because their range attack party buff together with their defense reduction ability is just invaluable in raid game modes. So that's why yeah, just invest in Nuri if you want a unit that can last you for very long within guild raid, as well as have some wild cards against the different like possible light combinations in the future by having a Nuri. So that's pretty much it for Nuri. Not a top tier pool, but a good one to have if you are very raid centric. So the last unit on today's list is Drunken Swordmaster Lin. I think I mentioned about Lin quite a few times. In fact, I really summarized her in a few words. I'm just gonna say it here. So a few words for Lin is injury negation card. So Lin single-handedly made injury negation card very important in arena, because if you're not prepared for her, her brief fire attack can do quite a bit to your team, and she can easily 1v2 or even 1v3 you if you do not have any answers for her. So Lin is that kind of unit that can win you games just off her presence herself. And yeah, if she meets against the injury negation card, she'll have a tougher battle, but it's still winnable. So in a sense, right, Lin is probably more of an arena unit compared to anything else. Within raid, you can pair her up with the different dark units to form the mono dark team, right? Because she has a melee buff. And you can also put her in the fire team together with Akayuki, Pure Vice, as well as Scintilla. So these are the few teams you can put her in. Generally versatile. She's not like a super top tier unit, at least for like her versatility. But in terms of arena, I'll rate her at the top tier because she's one of your better answers against Earth team, and she can do very well if your opponent is not prepared for her. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. It's a really short one. Hopefully it's helpful for all of you guys thinking of who to pull in this upcoming banner. And do remember to like and subscribe in order to see more videos from this channel. I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!